Hello, everyone. This is Carrie with Fullerton Professional Organizing, and today we are tackling something deep and meaningful. And first, let me tell you a joke. Why did the sentimental item go to therapy? Because it had too much emotional baggage. Well, today, yes, that's what we're doing. We're tackling sentimental items, and this happened to be a pillow that my grandmother made, and it has some real pretty details on it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it also has some stains on it. This is sentimental to me because my grandmother made it, and it does stay in my craft room on my little sofa I have in here. But that is what we're talking about today: overcoming the fear of letting go. If you have ever felt stuck holding on to things because of fear and guilt, this one is for you. So grab a comfy seat, maybe a tissue or two, and let's dive in, because the sentimental items are definitely the hardest. We're going to explore how to let go of sentimental items without fear, starting with practical tips like setting limits and creating memory boxes. But more importantly, we'll learn to lean on some scripture to remind us that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That comes from 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. By the end of this video, you'll feel empowered to release what's holding you back and make space for what truly matters to you the most. Okay, so first we're going to talk a little bit about sentimental clutter, and then we will, like we always do in every video, we will go over some of the details again and kind of expand on it a little bit. But sentimental items, whether it's your childhood teddy bear or grandma's pillow, old love letters, which I do have those as well, my husband's love letters, or your grandma's china. These can be some of the hardest things to declutter. They're tied to memories, emotions, and people we love, which makes letting go feel like a betrayal. But here's the truth: you can keep the memories without keeping the clutter, and here's some of the ways that you can do that. And I'm not telling you to get rid of all of your sentimental items. There's sentimental, and then there's sentimental, and then there's lots and lots and lots, and everything is sentimental, and everything has an emotional story. Sometimes we're attached to everything. Sentimental clutter is emotional, and that's okay. Start by giving yourself permission to feel whatever comes up. Feel the feelings. It's okay. Whether it's sadness, guilt, or even relief. Remember, letting go of an object doesn't mean letting go of the memory or the person it represents. It just doesn't. This reminds me of my grandmother and her sewing, but it is not her. Number 2, set your intentions. Before you dive in, ask yourself, what's my goal for decluttering? More space, less stress, a fresh start, less things to dust and clean. How do I want to feel in my home? What memories are most important to me? Having a clear intention will guide your decisions going forward, making the process a little bit simpler. Not easy, but easier. Now, number 3, we're going to sort items into categories. Create 3 categories for your sentimental items. Again, it's going to be the keep, let go, the maybes. The keep items that truly bring you joy or hold deep meaning. 2, the let go pile. Items you're ready to part with but want to honor, donate, gift, or recycle. Take a picture of them if you're letting them go. That way you can still see what it was that held the memory. And then you've got your maybe items. Decide later. Items you're unsure about, set these aside and we can revisit them later. It's okay to set them aside, and when you have a little more time to think about it. Limit your keep pile though. You can't want to declutter and then keep everything. So keep the keep pile to a specific space like a memory box or shelf to prevent over accumulation. Maybe a one box, and once the box is full, you can either not put any more memories in it or swap what has the most memory for you and swap them out so that you don't over accumulate. 4, preserve memories creatively. You don't need to keep every single item to hold on to the memory. Here are some creative ways to preserve what matters. Digital photos and letters. Scan old photos, letters, and cards to create a digital archive. And you can have an album. Create a digital album. Create a memory book, which is more physical. Turn ticket stubs, postcards, and other small items into a scrapbook. Repurpose items. Turn a piece of clothing into a pillow, quilt, or framed keepsake, like all those rock and roll t-shirts that you no longer wear. You could make a t-shirt quilt with those. Take photos. If you can't keep an item, take a photo of it to remember it by. 5, honor what you let go of. Letting go doesn't have to mean throwing things away. Here's how to honor the items you're ready to part with. Donate, pass items on to someone who will appreciate them. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, or someone that it fits their decor and you just thought they might like it. Give meaningful items to family or friends who will cherish them. For items that are worn out, find a way to recycle or repurpose them. But you can't recycle or repurpose everything. Make sure that you are going to actually recycle it or repurpose it before you hang on to it. Number 6, create a memory space. Design a specific area in your home for sentimental items. Maybe one shelf in your home that all your memory items go on. Or a memory box, shadow box, or display shelf. This keeps your treasures organized and prevents them from taking over the space. And again, keeping the items that you don't mind dusting and cleaning on a regular basis. I've seen pictures of people's collections. Well, I've seen collections firsthand. I've been in homes where there are 10 collections, 10 or more collections Collections are great, but when there's not enough room, sometimes your collections get crowded by the clutter. So having one shelf for all of your memorabilia, this will keep your treasure organized and prevents them from taking over your space. And again, you can swap things out as you find more memories. And once that shelf is full, you have to make some real hard decisions. All right, now we're going to get let's get ready to tackle your sentimental clutter. Watch the full video for more tips and share your decluttering journey in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more organizing inspiration. Let's declutter together, one memory at a time. All right, let's continue with the rest of the information here, okay? But before we go on, what's the most sentimental item you've struggled to let go of? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And for me, some of the hardest things for me to let go of are my own sentimental things, just things that I have bought because I loved them and I've had them, love them, but had to squeeze them into a space, and it's really hard to let go. Like the items that I purchased when I opened up my vintage tea room. And then when I closed down the business during COVID and sold it, there were a few pieces of furniture that I squeezed into my home and had to move things around in my home so they would fit. So I understand why letting go feels so hard. But let's be real. Letting go of sentimental items can feel like letting go of a piece of yourself. That old sweater from your grandma, the toys your kids outgrew, the stuffed animals your kids outgrew. Even that stack of letters from a season of life that's past. They all carry memories and emotions. And that's okay. It's normal to feel attached. But here's the thing. Holding on to too much can weigh us down. Not to mention, we have no space to move around and to breathe. Physically and emotionally and even spiritually, it will weigh us down. It's like carrying a backpack full of rocks everywhere you go. So how do we start lightening the load without feeling like we're losing something precious? That's what we're here to figure out. Instead of tackling everything at once, let's start small. Here's a simple method. And of course, this is review because we tackle this in almost every video. 1, the keep, donate, treasure rule. Keep only what is truly meaningful or useful. The rule is keep only what is truly meaningful or useful. Donate, bless others with items that still hold value. Treasure, instead of keeping 100%. Whoops, sorry guys. Let me pause for a minute. All right, we're going back to the treasure. Instead of keeping 100 things, choose one special item that represents the memory. Let's say someone left you a whole set of china, but one it doesn't match anything in your home. Or 2, it does match everything in your home, but you don't have space for it. And you know you'll never use it. Or, I don't know. But you don't have to keep the whole set of china. I know in the past, people did not want to break up sets. But you can break up sets. You can keep just the teacups and the dessert plates. Or you can keep all the decorative elements or all the serving pieces. Or just keep one teacup as a memory of your grandma. What I was fixing to say that I kind of forgot while I was in the middle of my sentence is sometimes you will be left china that you didn't even know existed. Therefore, you don't really have a sentimental attachment to it, but you have a sentimental attachment to the person that gave it to you. That's where one vase or one teacup will represent that memory, and you can let the rest of the china or whatever the set of items are. You don't have to keep every item. All right. Now, number 2 is the 80-20 rule for sentimental items. Keep 20% of most treasured items and let go of the 80%. That's just taking up extra space. 3, take a picture. We already said most of this stuff. We're just reviewing some of this. Write a memory. Snap a photo of items you love but don't need to keep. And keep a journal about what they mean to you before letting go. If this is helpful, if any of this is helpful, guys, give this video a thumbs up so more people can find these tips, and drop a comment. What's one sentimental item you're ready to let go of today? First, we asked, what can you never let go of? And now I'm asking, what are you ready to let go of today? Put that down in the comments. Now, trusting God through this process. Letting go isn't just about decluttering. It's about trust. It really is about trust. Isaiah 43:18-19 says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. God is calling us to make room for new blessings. When we let go, we create space for peace, clarity, and growth. Have you ever felt God nudging you to let go of something? It could be a habit. It may not even be an actual physical item. It could be a habit or a grudge or a feeling. Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Now, setting healthy limits with faith. We can honor memories without cluttering our homes. And here's how. 1, set a sentimental bin limit or shelf. We've already talked about this. Choose one box for keepsakes. If it doesn't fit, reconsider how important it really is. 2, use sentimental items with purpose. Instead of keeping grandma's dishes in a box, use them on a special occasions. Or what I've done is I've used a old mixing bowl of my grandmother's that I didn't want to use because I didn't want it to break, and I filled it with flowers. So I use it to hold flowers as a decor piece. Now, these were not given to me by anyone that attached a memory to, but I have milk glass that I have purchased purposely to use as soap dishes, beautiful soap dishes. Yet they used to be you can't tell. You don't know this unless someone had told you this in the description, but it's a rectangle dish that used to be used for cigarettes. as an ashtray, but it's perfect size for a bar of soap. Or I use a milk glass planter to hold my brushes and combs in my bathroom. So I use a lot of vintage and antiques for different purposes, for useful purposes. And if you have some sentimental pieces that you don't want to let go of, you could do that as well. Now, what is one way you found to honor memories without holding on to clutter? Share your tips in the comments. Now, creating a memory box. One of my favorite ways to honor sentimental items, especially for my children, is by creating a memory box. This is a special place where you can keep a few meaningful things like photos, letters, or small keepsakes without letting them take over your home. And here's how to do it. In my home, first, before I go any further, I just have those bins from Dollar Tree, the cube bins. I have those in my closet, and they hold memories. Or I have a box that someone gave me, that's a Christmas box that I put ornaments to pass down to my kids. They were maybe Hallmark ornaments that were given to them when they were children, and now they can use them when they have their own home. But here are some other ideas. Choose a box or container that feels special to you. Select a few items that truly represent the memories you want to preserve. Let go of the rest, knowing that the memories live on in your heart. And hey, if you're feeling stuck, take a photo of the item before letting it go. That way you can still revisit the memory without the physical clutter. And I know some of this stuff is just repeated over and over and over. But let me go ahead and wrap this up with a prayer, okay? Lord, thank you for being with us in this process of letting go. Help us to release what no longer serves us, trusting that you are our ultimate source of security and peace. Give us courage, clarity, and a sound mind as we declutter our homes and our hearts. Thank you for the memories we cherish and the new blessings you have in store. Amen. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's about making room for what God has next. Until next time, take care and God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.